Merry Christmas, even though it's January 3rd. There's a Christmas tree there, innit? Happy New Year and all of them, man. If you haven't watched the pilot, you haven't watched the pilot. That's your business. You don't know what's going on. But this is the review with the Cancún boys, a quarterly podcast where we sit and talk purely about music. That's the hope, but some members of the cast can't be trusted to stay on topic. So if other things end up being in the final edit.
That was shade at only one person, by the way. You guess who it was.
No, multiple people actually. But if the shoe fits, wear it. I beg. What size are you again? Okay. So yeah. On this episode, we are going to do a roundup of 2025, the music that we listened to, the music that we liked, and also, if we have time at the end, speak about what are we looking forward to in 2026. I'm saying it from now, Jill Scott's album and Stove God Cooks. That's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, quickly going around the room, introducing everyone. My name is T.
My name is Mads.
Dens.
Kojo.
AP.
Well, and we are the Cancún boys, like I said. So, I don't know who wants to start. Anyone can start, but everyone was tasked with compiling a list, and I did mine as we've been sat here. But the three lists that we have are the 3 favorite albums, 3 favorite EPs/mixtapes, however you want to call them in this crazy world of everyone calling everything a project, and 3 favorite songs. So let's see how much we get through. But yeah, who would like to start?
I don't mind starting because I think mine will probably be actually quite quick.
Okay, why?
Because when I actually thought about it, majority of the music that I listened to last year was from 2024. So I don't actually think I listened to a lot of music that actually came out in 2025, if that makes sense. Now, there's probably some level of explanation to it. Maybe the first aspect is I'm one of those people where when I like a song, I don't just listen to it. Like I rinse it and rinse it and rinse it. And I also think based off of where I'm probably consuming music the most consistently, it kind of makes sense why these things matter. So I'll give some context. So for I'd say a large portion of last year, I was training, doing running in the gym and whatnot. Now, again, a lot of people go to the gym, a lot of people work out. You may think, oh, so why not listen to different types of music? What's the issue? Specifically for running, I found that there's a thing, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but there's basically a thing called a metronome, which is also running, which is also similar to music, where it's the beats. And there's a certain BPM that you need to hit to be able to run at a consistent pace. And I found a song that basically aligned very well with the BPM that I wanted to run at. And I also found that listening to the song on repeat allows you to kind of get into the zone of running and doesn't allow you to think about anything else. So this song is a French song. It actually came out in 2024. It's by an artist called Tia Kola and another artist called Hamza. And the song is actually called 5 Minutes to 2. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say that's my favorite song of 2025, but it's probably my most played song of 2025, purely because of where I'm listening to the song and what I'm doing in terms of the basis. So that's probably just a starter. But then secondly, going into that, I think that also just feeds into the fact of there was actually, if I'm being honest, a large portion of the year where I actually tried to make a conscious decision to listen to less secular music.
Okay.
And I think when that came into play, that was around the time where a lot of new music was coming out. And so it didn't actually necessarily align with, what I wanted to do or what I was doing at the time. So as an example, when the Clips tape came out, that was around the time where I was trying to go through my no secular music round per se. So as an example, when new music does come out, a lot of us do speak about it in the chat, and there was definitely points where I felt like I wanted to chime in conversation, but I hadn't probably gone through the album as much as maybe you man had, as an example. And so I would probably say a lot of new music that came out in 2025, I actually picked it up quite late.
Okay.
So probably, I would say maybe like the end of Q2, back end of summer, going into Q3, Q4 was when I started actually listening or trying to discover new music, because a lot of the music that I was just listening to was music that I was already privy to. I think the first two for me that jump out, and obviously it's going to be quite obvious just based off of what I said with Pusha and Malice, was So Be It. And that's my first... Yeah, I was like, alright, bet.
So
like,
be it, so be
we're back still. We're back. Obviously, if you've heard the song, you know it's kind of got like this, I say like a little bit like an Arabian Nights type, you know, feel to it, Arab money type feel to it.
He could have actually just said Arabic, and he just.
I mean, yeah.
I even let. I was letting Arabian.
That's
I was letting Arabian nights go.
That's
He wanted to say Arab money.
That's
DJ Khaled say?
that's how it came to be in terms of the production.
Wow.
And obviously, I think just the tape in general, there's gonna probably be a mix. So
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think the tape in general for me was, I was like, this is, I think, what a lot of hip hop fans, rap fans have been waiting for a while.
Yeah.
Especially from both of them. And it delivered. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to say specifically album of the year for me, but it's up there.
Yeah.
But the song in terms of repeat, how much I listened to it on repeat when I started listening to a bit more newer secular music, that was probably the most consistent. And then it's
One
actually,
step, Pete. Did everyone have clips on their list?
Yeah.
I haven't put it there, but it could be.
Do we want to discuss it now, since we're here?
That's on mine.
Yeah,
Since we've all got it there.
I'm
in
glad
some
you
way,
said
shape,
it so I
or
can
form.
take it off of mine.
Yeah. Hip hop is real.
But he's about to go on one of these spills, you know. Go on.
Hip hop is real. Hip hop is back. Hip hop is life. Hip hop is something you breathe. It ain't just something you just. Bro, you know how much people have had to die on the wayside for some of these genres that we love so dearly, bro. Jazz, hip hop, soul music, gospel music, R&B music. The list goes on for everyone. That tape, and bear in mind, I've been dissing Pharrell up and down.
Same.
For like, bro, some of the beats that Pharrell has been delivering to the ether, bro. Honestly, could have slapped his grills out of his mouth, bro. Okay. Like, honestly,
Count, keep counting. It's called Benjamin Habits.
Is that the one with Tyler and
no, the one from Skepta sing.
Keep talking numbers.
Calculator.
But is that not the same? That's the same beat. Yeah, I feel like it's the same exact beat. If you listen to that tune with him, 21 Savage, and Tyler the Creator, I don't know if you saw the video where it was basically like them as like play like toys and shit.
Oh, what POV?
No, bro, that's recently, bro. There was a song with 21 Savage,
I don't know this tune.
Pharrell and Tyler the Creator.
It's not. I don't think it's a clip song. I think he's just talking about something totally separate. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it quickly. 1 sec.
To go off of that though, what's quite interesting is that, like, one, I think on this album you could pick any song to be like one of your favorite songs of the year, because it's got so many great bangers on there. But for me, when I if I'm not mistaken, the first single was Ace Trumpets.
Yes,
I actually didn't like it.
Same.
When I first heard it, I didn't like it, and I think this is why, especially as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I need to listen to albums or songs in the context of the album.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I heard Ace Trumpets in that sequence, I said, now this makes a lot more sense.
Wait, Ace Trumpets is ballerinas doing pirouettes inside of my snow globe.
Yeah.
That first line drew me in immediately.
But I think that's the thing as well. Sometimes I'm not instantly drawn to the lyrics, because especially with these two, I don't have to worry about the rap. They could rap on country music and they're going to spaz.
So it's Pharrell.
Yeah, so
I agree with you.
Sorry,
I said we're getting to the root.
Like, because I agree. I love.
do
By the way,
not
Pharrell.
co-sign his message.
Like, by the way, I love Pharrell. Like, there will never be a time
getting this nigga.
where I don't.
No
love,
more LV. No more nothing.
There will never be a time in this life where I don't love Pharrell. Pharrell as a solo artist, as well as a producer, even on his own, outside of Neptune's, is certified legend, bro. You can't take that away. But like T said, even when I heard Ace Trumpets, the only thing that made me nervous about this album was Pharrell, bro. I'm being real, and that's just based off what has been coming out over the past few years on his solo thing, especially the things that started coming out post him and Chad's like discrepancy or whatever happened. Like when I heard Ace Trumpets, the beat is very like, and I feel like we got a taste of Kanye on his own pause. Through,
and that's it, and that's the one.
You know what?
That's the one.
It's Almost Dry.
That's LeBron James. That's the block game 7. That's it. That's it. That's it. You can't get higher than that. That's the zenith. That is flipping actual hell. Taste of what?
That's crazy. That was crazy.
A taste of what?
That was crazy.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, yeah, we need to end pause culture because it's like you can't say nothing no more.
It's true. It's true.
You can't say nothing.
Now you want to hear pause culture.
You can't say nothing.
Now you just want to have a blanket.
You can't say nothing no more.
It's cool when you say it. It's a problem when I say it.
But I think It's Almost Dry for Pusha was another one where there was just misses here and there. Like there was just certain ones that were missing, especially coming off the back of Daytona for Pusha. Like there was a contrast there. So I agree with T. I agree with T in terms of like hearing Ace Trumpets. Ace Trumpets was not a bad beat, but it was just like, okay, I hope that we're getting more than this. But I was thankfully we was given hip hop album of the year. You know what I'm saying? So be it. Just like you said, so be it. Yeah, I get very anxious. So as So Be It was like consistently not on streaming, I was getting mad anxious, bro. Like having to go back to the video. This is why I agree with T when he says I might be a little neurospicy, bro. Because I was like,
now you want to accept it?
Because I was like, bro, I willed that video on Twitter as if.
Wait, so you didn't even do it on YouTube?
I did it on Twitter and I did it on
had
YouTube.
it on repeat.
Both.
Twitter.
Both, bro.
That is crazy.
That's
Both,
mad.
bro. Well, the first drop was even on. It was on
No,
Twitter.
I hear it.
It was actually on Twitter. Like I was wheeling it, especially that first day or two when it was only on Twitter. Wheeling,
Same,
bro.
I
Like,
was in the same.
and I think I'm just gonna get everything I need to say out now because I've got too much things to say. Clips in general, I've been into clips from the early stages. I don't think that I necessarily saw them as lyrical as they were even in the early stages. Pusha in his good music era was what really got me like, okay, like Pusha, you are exactly who you think you are. Now, when it comes to Malice, like Malice, I didn't really have much context for him outside of clips, but boy, oh boy, did he put on a flipping masterclass.
Rapper of the year.
He gets the MVP.
He put, bro,
Spazzed.
you say it what?
He gets the MVP for that.
Okay, I thought you said he gets an MBE. I was confused.
God forbid.
But when I say you're the whole thing.
No, I'm just saying. I was just confused.
Cool.
But I think like, you know, it's a testament to what this thing really is when it comes to rapping. I'm so passionate about words, bro. I'm so passionate about how people put things together. What Malice did, I don't know if we've seen it before. I don't know if we've seen it before. I'm talking about the context of it. Even Mace couldn't do it.
As in what you mean, leaving rap for a
Bro,
period of time
leaving, and we say
returning.
leaving rap, like obviously Malice was still releasing under No Malice. He was still releasing like
There wasn't
Christian
a lot,
rap,
though.
but there wasn't loads. I think it might have been 2 albums max. Like
I don't think he dropped albums.
he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. And for him to go away and come back the way that he did, and it's just the level.
It's disgusting.
It's the level that he came back on, bro.
Like,
Bro,
wow.
I was like, oh, we
even
back.
even just
Like
on-
we back.
Even just because we're talking about So Be It, or it started from So Be It, like even that tune, like both of them together, but I didn't deep how much it was until I saw a breakdown of it, of like them being like in different places in the world, like talking about them being in different places in the world on that tune. Or is it, sorry, I'm thinking of So Be It. I'm talking about thinking of Ace Trumpets. Because I didn't like it that much at first, like T said. But then when I seen that people talking about like, even just the I'm telling you where I've been around the globe with just this snow globe in this. It's
Some of the things
it's
they
let
were
me go on the Wi-Fi because that's how they say it in France. Just different stuff like that.
Yellow diamonds look like pee,
bro. But especially even just
that diamond.
Malice's bit, he was spazzing, bro.
What on So Be It?
On So Be It, but what's that song? Is it FICO?
Yeah.
The dum diddy dum. Like, nah, like it's
bro.
it's
So
serious.
be it, yeah.
It's serious.
Malice said you ain't solid, you ain't valid, you ain't malice. Being quiet, he said back
That
to
flow
back.
is
This ain't
peak.
traffic. Can't wrap your head round that. You ain't Arab.
Look upon us,
They are scattered.
I can't like.
Ain't no more Neptune, so peace Saturn. Do you know how dumb that bar is, bro?
I wish you man came to the show, bro. I really wish
I was so mad I
you
went
man
to the
came
show,
to
bro.
that show. Like
Every
bro,
single person I know who went to their show has said, yeah.
bro, masterclass.
Hearing it live was...
Where
Where was it again?
Nike got a T-shirt and everything.
Nah, so I was at O2 Brixton, but they had 2 shows before that.
I
Like
said
a
one
week
was O2 Brixton,
before.
it's back open. I didn't even know.
Yeah, been back open, but they're not.
It's a
Anyway,
Sharky.
that's another discussion. But yeah, they had the first 2 shows at O2 Forum Kentish Town,
Right.
and then they, because of the amount of demand, they added another show at O2 Academy Brixton, and that was the last show I think of the whole run.
Fair.
I have a friend who does not listen. A girl who does not listen to like that type of music. Yeah, like Eclipse. You wouldn't, bro. She went to the show and she was like, nah, like I was there and I was like vibing. I was doing my hands
Really?
like I was just like, because it's infectious.
That's the experience
Like,
that concerts are meant to bring to you.
Yeah.
But I
Bro,
mean, that's
even
also what
like,
we were talking about
to be
before
fair, like even the opener, shout out Jeff, like he already had the room at a place where it was like, oh, we're ready, because I think that's where a lot of support acts fail, is that they forget that, not to say people haven't necessarily come to see you, but during your set, you have to win people over to make them want to stay as fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the reality is, I've come here, I know what I want to see. I want to see the headliner. I want to see specific songs. I want to see how they interact with each other. I want to take in that experience. You are sadly just filler. But the way in which he controlled the room, controlled the crowd, was constantly interacting, like that's, I need to do a list of them, but that is definitely in the top 3 concerts that I went to for the whole of last year. Yeah, phenomenal album, just phenomenal output from them. Especially, like, I hate doing this thing at the current stage in hip hop where we talk about age, because I feel like that ceiling has just now been broken. Like, I think too many of them have been doing it for long enough now. I think I would have accepted it more around the time of like 444, because you just didn't really have as many older rappers doing it at this level. And still creating great songs. It's not necessarily about them being lyricists and being able to rap. We know you can do that, but can you still create great songs? But they literally showed you how to do it on a whole album, do it concisely. And also, I think the thing that blows my mind is that they said there are no songs left off from that project. Now, whether that's true or not, that's between them and God, innit? But to think that they literally only created the songs that are on that album just goes to show, like, artists who are intentional about what they do and the level that they're at. So yeah, phenomenal album. P, you were going into your second album though. What was that?
Third song, I swear.
Or third song? Yeah, you're doing your thing.
Yeah, it's a mixture, but it's not necessarily the album. It's probably a bit of bias here on this one again, because a mate did produce it, but
Fairs.
Baguettes. Rich. AV. Prof.
Oh
Yeah.
so for my
Shout out Cheeky Plug. Shout out the boy Emil.
2
Listen,
arms, Amber
the
Decks.
biggest wizard
Yeah.
in this production game.
Coldest.
And I had heard it. I had heard it prior, but not the full version, as you probably wouldn't. Well, as most people wouldn't have in that basis. But yeah, I think when I saw that they were doing the deluxe album, I was like, okay, cool, interesting. You know, you man
I
did
still
it.
haven't listened.
Huh? You still haven't? Okay, cool. I was like, okay, cool.
That's the one song that I have willed the most from the
Same.
project.
Same. Because I was like, all right, cool. What's gonna be? Because it's what this one, this two is still the old one, and then this one is 2025 version. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me take this in. And again, I'll probably say when it also comes down to me picking my favorite songs, there probably would be a bit of a theme in terms of why I do them. I think the first two for me, like I just mentioned, were just purely production. A lot of it was based off the production.
Right.
And when you're looking at, like I said, Pusha and Malice, but then also Wretch and AV, like I trust everyone's pen in that game. But I think it's when they're layering it on top of, in my opinion, elite production, that just takes a song from here to here.
Yeah.
And again, you guys will understand it, especially the ones who create. I've definitely, over time, probably understated the importance of how good a good producer is. Like, being there and watching people make beats, yeah, and also not specifically coming from I wouldn't say not even necessarily a musical background myself. Like, I played instruments in the past, but seeing somebody who is talented at playing an instrument, but then at the same time knows how to weave this from this from this, you can hear something and then you're like, that plugs into that. Yeah, there's levels to this. And when Emil just dropped Baguettes, I was like, personally, I'd never taken Improv as well. So that was my first intro to him.
That's crazy because he's gonna be part of my convo.
Yeah.
That was the first time, and so I also did a bit of digging in terms of seeing what his tape was saying, and I was like, wow, okay, cool.
I'm even upset for you that you're not even gonna be able to hear it in its entirety because you come to hear him so late.
Yeah.
Because certain tunes got taken off of his tape.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
So I was like, interesting.
South London again,
and I think the final one is probably a bit of a thrower, but the reason why I think I like this so much is this is probably like the ignorant P, like the P that doesn't necessarily care for the art form per se, but it's purely just based off of the hype and almost the...
You're gonna say Gunna, innit?
No, not Gunna.
Say, wait till you put
Let him speak.
one to your Wayne tune that's on SoundCloud.
I think it's more about certain type of musicians being ones who don't play by the rules and just kick down the door. And this is more on the Afrobeat side of things.
Okay.
And again, some people may have heard it, you may not have, but there's a new little wave kid going on called Marvo.
I've heard him still.
Now, a lot of people love Escalade Dizzy. Like, you know, it goes off in the clubs, whatnot. But my preference was the Shakabuli Z one.
Yeah. Oh
and
God.
When I first heard this, first instinct was, what the flip is this? Like, I don't understand this at all. But when I actually think about Nigerians and the way they make music, and also the new school in terms of the way they're making music, it's very different to what I'm used to. So the sound has, you know, it's got like a Amapiano backdrop to it, but at the same time, these new school kids are coming with their own little twist to it. They've got like almost the equivalent of the underground UK scene, but they're doing their own underground version of it back home in Nige. He has this thing that he calls the I can't remember what he called it. He has like a dictionary that he has for all of these words, these dizzy words that he uses. And when I heard the Shakabuli Z track, because again, like I said, everyone was raving about Escalade Dizzy and whatnot. I was like, lyrically, this is not a good song, but the way he's able to throw certain words together that may not necessarily make sense, but they rhyme. Again, it's not hard to find words that rhyme. But then again, the mixture with the production and also seeing the reception that it's making back home, like, he's probably the biggest artist right now in the 8th December, keeping it a stack. And he's a uni student, so he's 20, 21 years old, between 19 to 21. Cool. And he's got the biggest hits in Nige probably right now. And he's been on a run. So he had the Escalade Dizzy track, then he had Shakabuli Z, and then he's got this one with Wizkid, Money Constant, where there's different segments where people may have heard it, where, you know, there's a Wizkid part which was going like viral on TikTok and whatnot, and then there was also his part. And I think just when I thought about, okay, when do I listen to this song consistently? When I'm trying to get hyped, I listen to it. When I'm looking for a feel-good song, I'm listening to it. But then also, and this is, again, coming back to the whole creating aspect, with the videos that I make on TikTok, I remember telling somebody, they were asking me what's my process in terms of how do I know how to put like a video together. And I always say I start with a song. And when I start with a song, the reason why I think I start with the song is because of how much I loved music videos when I was younger. and it's almost like I can see how you would play this out before the video has come out. And I remember doing a video for that song specifically. And again, if you create content, if you edit on CapCut, sometimes you have to keep repeating the song to get the drop. And when I made the video itself, personally, I was so impressed with myself. I was like, this is a sick flipping video. But the way it drops on the song and the way the song feels like so intentional with the video, I was like, I know exactly what this music video would look like. The music video personally didn't necessarily reach what I wanted it to reach in that aspect. But I was like, all right, cool. How can I think about something where, in terms of my 3 songs, you probably got the 3 bases of America, UK, and Africa. Those are probably the 3 pillars in terms of my base level of what you'd probably hear me listening to on a day-to-day basis. I didn't want to be fake and rise and say, you know, something like Ghana, like we get fucked tonight, because again, I wasn't a massive fan of that song, if I'm being completely honest. But also think that was probably at the midpoint of me not trying to listen to secular music. So if I'm hearing something like this, it's like, this isn't really what I'm trying to be.
Yeah, we getting fucked tonight.
Yeah, like this isn't.
On your
that won't
secular
help you
music
on your
journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This isn't really what I'm trying to listen to.
We
But
gon'
I would probably
pray
say
tonight. We gonna pray tonight.
Nah, there's
You know what I'm saying?
we going up
We gon'
tonight.
pray
We going
tonight.
up. That's the
Okay, not too early,
I want him kicked
But
off.
yeah, those.
Right.
but on time.
But those are the 3 that I would say in terms of like
Kicked off.
favorite feel good songs.
What's
I don't
going
think
on?
they were necessarily the best songs of the year, all 3 of them as a collective. But again,
like
this
your
is
favourites,
the
yeah.
favorites. What I'm gonna probably do with these next ones is gonna fly through it, because again, like I said, I haven't actually listened to many albums on a consistent basis over the year to be able to honestly admit that I think this is my favorite album of the year.
Wait,
However,
are we doing it like songs, albums, mixtapes, all in one?
I mean,
Or-
he-
I'll get mine out quickly.
Whatever you want.
I can get mine out quickly.
Go on,
So,
go on.
We can do that.
So-
How is that a pause? You see what I mean?
but anyway.
God,
What was
Do you know
the
what it
pause?
is?
Ask him.
I'll start with EPs, yeah.
He paused.
He paused it.
Oh, pause.
He said, "I'm gonna get mine out quick," and he said, "Pause."
I said I'll get
Wait,
mine out
who
quickly.
said
Ah, wait.
He
what?
said,
I
"Pause." to
said
his
it.
own-
Well,
to his
anyway.
If
So
I hear it,
the first EP, and this is probably one of the. This wasn't the first EP that I listened to this year, but I was like, okay, cool. This is different sound, but it kind of makes sense. And was Nux's one, A Fine African Man, I believe. And there's 2 tracks specifically that I really like on that one. One of them is Palm Wine, and
Great
the
song.
other one is Pure Water. And
Literally the same.
Is that Emil
Yeah.
produced on which one of those? He
again,
produced on one of them,
biased in
innit?
it. So I think he produced Pure Water. Yeah, Pure Water, I believe.
Cold.
So, and I was just like, okay, these are bangers. I didn't actually even know Nux was putting out something. One of my boys from Nigeria, he came to the UK, told me he was going to Nux's listening party in the summer. I was like, listening party, he's putting out an EP. He was like, yeah, he is. So, all right, cool, I'm going to take it in. That was good. The second one was an EP called Magnus Opulence by an artist called King K.
Great little EP that as well.
Tidy. And I think it kind of goes to maybe the theme of where some of my favorite songs in 2025 were, or the type of songs are. I call them luxury rap. I call them like Hermes rap.
He does
It's
it
like
very well.
very, very well.
From someone that's over here as well.
Song called Winters in Dubai, and I was just like, yeah, this is tidy. I'm not gonna be able to go with the third, but it will kind of make sense where I land on my final 3 points. And then, like I said, I wasn't gonna necessarily talk about albums, but I want to talk about specifically 3 artists that I kind of said to these men before you came. I was familiar with their game, but I wasn't familiar with their game to this extent. And I'm not necessarily going to go point blank period and say, okay, cool, you completely won over a fan in me. But I was impressed by the work that they put out. First one, naturally, I think it probably would be on somebody else's list, was K1's tape. Like,
Yeah.
keeping it a stack, I discovered her through TikTok. So I was like, flipping heck, this girl can sing. Very, very good. When the tape came in, I was like, okay, this is giving a familiar sound. And when I say a familiar sound, I don't know if I was necessarily so impressed maybe in the last 2 to 3 years in the state of UK R&B tapes that I felt that were being pushed to the mainstream. I think there's always going to be, you know, great tapes if you're digging. And that's the case just in every year. But I think from what I was hearing a lot, I was just like, I'm not necessarily that like bothered. I'm just going to kind of stick with the genres that I've been listening to. But with hers, I was just like, wow, okay, cool. This is good. Similar. And again, this is another artist that I didn't really pay that much mind to. Haven't really paid that much mind to him in the last year and a half, 2 years. But he's been coming up so much that I was like, you know what? Let me just take in a bit more of his music. It was Odile. He's good.
O's been on a run.
Like this run that he's on. Whoa. The track with he's got a track with Wiz and another one with Leon Thomas. That was like
Miami.
Yeah, I was like,
this year as well?
Miami
Both
was
of them,
this
yeah.
year, yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped two tapes
Some
this
of
year,
the
bro.
same
Yeah.
person and-
that I was like,
that same
okay. I remember one of my friends said that he went to his live show, and this is somebody who listens to music, and he was like, live, probably one of the best that he's heard.
Shout
Really?
out
Eyes, my boy.
MD Eyes.
Come on.
He said one of the best he's heard live, as in, he said he sounds exactly like he sounds on tape.
You know what? Yeah.
Obviously, again, open to discussion, innit? I didn't go to the show, so go on.
I was gonna say from the videos I hear, and again, I'm a really big like Odile fan, but I wouldn't go and see him live.
This is
When
exactly what I thought.
Because when I see the videos of it, it doesn't really like align with what I hear audio wise. Which again, I don't knock it because I think I don't think every artist has to be amazing live. Like PND makes great music for me. I don't necessarily need to see PND live. Like no
That guy be
offense.
going around the stage like a spirit.
But you get what I mean? So when I've seen clips of Odile, I've just been like, I think Odile is like, he makes great music. I don't know how like vocally like strong I would say he is, which again isn't a diss because I really enjoy his music. Like even like last year, Lastropolis was like one of my most played tunes. And even I'd forgotten, even because he's put out so much music, I'd forgot some of that Saved Us came out this year. So yeah, I might have to adjust.
No, I agree though, because I think when I thought about it, I was like, you don't necessarily need to be in a mood to listen to music, but at the same time, there are certain moods that you want to probably be in to listen to a certain type of song. That's why you put on certain songs when you're feeling a certain type of way. And every time I had listened to Odile in the past, I was just like, where would I listen to Odile on a consistent basis where I'm able to take this in and really, really take it in? Obviously, based on my lifestyle, you know, I wasn't necessarily leaving the house that much. A lot of the music that I used to take in was on commutes. And again, aside from that, if I'm not training or being outside, it's music just playing in the background whilst working. Right. But the job that I work, I always have to be on the phone. I'm having to break up calls and whatnot. So I was just trying to think, all right, cool. Where would I actually listen to Odile? Probably the most consistent place that I actually listen to music now is just naturally in the car when I'm on a long drive. And initially I didn't think that it just fit with the type of song that I wanted to listen to on a long drive. But when I started playing, and I was just like, I appreciate the art form a lot more now and the ability to sing and sing well. Yeah. There's levels to this, and because there's so much, I guess, mediocre, let's say, content in my opinion, or music that was being put out at a certain level. Yeah. When you do just have a little bit of stardust, it's almost like, all right, cool, put a bit more stocks into this person, invest in the dip, and then you'll probably be very shocked in the long run because you'll realize this is music, bro. Like the other stuff that you listen to is just noise. This is music. And then the final one, and this is probably a very, very late one, and like I said to these men earlier, I was mentioning it, was another artist that I just did not know about her at all like that. That was Olivia Dean. And I was just like, whoa. That's... You don't need to be a certain type of person to listen to a certain type of music. And I think that's the beauty of just music, like we've said. You know, you can have a man who looks a certain type of way and there's a completely different track playing in his headphones and vice versa. And I think maybe for myself, you can almost pigeonhole yourself too much if you set the type of music that you listen to as your persona and almost tell yourself you're not meant to listen to a certain level of or type of music. And whenever I'd heard Olivia Dean, I always thought like she was, like I said, like a top shot artist. These artists that just played in the background of River Island and that. But again, getting into the art form, getting into the vocals specifically, and again, it helps having a partner who does listen, because that's kind of the segue. But at the same time, similar to what we were saying in terms of music just being communal, majority of the other songs were stuff that I had probably heard other people listen to, but I kind of went out of my way to discover. Whereas this was actually me being directly put on to somebody who, initially, I was very much on put that off, man. Let's put on some Shaka Bulisi. But I was like, you know what? Let me actually take this in, and this girl is good.
Yeah,
like,
really good.
I really rate this. Really, really rate this. And so, yeah, I think in a nutshell, that was kind of like the three artists that I wanted to just touch on in terms of, I was familiar with your game, but I wasn't familiar with your game to this extent. Right. I think K1's got Stardust. Like, she's gonna be huge, and with or without, kind of this whole little.
Did you pronounce it K1 that from the first time you read it?
I heard somebody say it very early doors.
Okay. So how did you pronounce it?
Because Kojo said.
How did you pronounce it?
Kojo said Kwan Kwan.
Okay.
100%
Basically,
Kwan.
I said that, but not the second one.
I heard somebody say her name very early because I think
said Kwan.
Yeah, Kwan. I was in Kwan.
So that was just like, all right, cool. I was just looking at that and was thinking, is it KWN or
Quink.
But,
Natural.
Jesus is Lord.
but yeah, that's what I would say in terms of mine. And then I'm guessing we can obviously go into it.
Yeah. I think off the top of your picks, I think one of the things that is starting to become more prevalent without maybe people necessarily noticing is the importance of good songwriting. And obviously we talked about it with clips to a degree, but it's kind of different with rap to singers. But all three of the artists that you mentioned are very good songwriters. And so I think that's probably why en masse they're able to permeate as well as they do and get into rooms that probably a lot of other music just isn't currently, because of the current climate that is in the world. The Art of Loving is an album that I haven't listened to yet, but the bits that I have heard from it, like Olivia Dean is just doing amazingly well within that space. K1, again, I think because of having the ability to produce and then write your own songs, it's allowing her to so
she produced What I Say herself. She produced the
sorry, K1.
So it's allowing K1, I think, to do things that many others can't, because she's literally from the jump saying, this is what I want it to sound like, this is what I'm thinking of, I'm gonna just do it. Odile, great songwriter, a very good songwriter. I think the only, not caveat, but like thing I would touch on from a live perspective, because we briefly spoke about it, I think people need to give some of these artists a lot more grace, because
agreed.
If I don't even want to get too technical into this because we got to get through the rest of the list, but when you don't understand how auto-tune is used, or even recognize that it's being used in the studio, when it now comes to live, that in itself is very difficult to get correct. It's easier for K1 to do it because a lot of her songs use very speed and all of that song throughout it, similar to like a Leon Thomas who uses it so well. I mean, if you want to go back to even further, like obviously we saw it with T-Pain, and I think for a lot of people they didn't even know that T-Pain could actually sing before like it came to a certain period. So there's the manipulation of those production elements that are really good, but to do it live is not as easy as it's done in the studio. So I think that's why you see a lot of these artists, especially if they go on like a tiny desk and stuff, people are just like, well, you can't sing. But it's like, yes, they might not be a singer. And I had to struggle with this one internally for time, because, you know, as someone who can sing, it's very difficult to see people going on stages and they can't sing. But then I also have to recognize the beauty in songwriting. And I think it's something that Bella's taught me a lot about as well, is just actually appreciating this person for their songwriting ability. So it's interesting to see that synergy across all of your picks.
I shared the Clips album as one of my albums. We've already spoken about it. It was ridiculous on so many levels. It got a couple nominations for
more than a couple. I think it's in
five.
Yeah,
I think for five
or
Grammys,
six.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that doesn't validate the project in any way, but it's just recognizing where it is, where it did. It was great. One of my songs from last year is from that project, and it's between two, FICO and Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, it's a tough pick, man.
Yeah,
That's
like,
such a tough
Sorry,
pick.
you like Inglorious
Yeah, I
Bastards?
don't like
That's
Inglorious
cold,
Bastards.
bro.
yeah, it's
sorry,
ridiculous.
Bro, you know
But
what?
that's Pharrell again, bro. On his
Hey.
foolishness, bro.
Guys out for Pharrell.
If man saw that live,
Bro.
you'd love it. Trust me.
I can only imagine.
I get
So
why people.
cold,
I get it
bro.
though. I get it.
I can only imagine. Like I didn't grow up recognizing clips or their music really outside of grinding. I remember hearing Pusha on that song with Kanye West and like 15 other people. Like 2020, 2012.
Was that Monster?
I think so. I think so.
Is he on Click? No, he's not on Click.
He's on Click as well, yeah. Wait.
Oh yeah, he is on Click.
2 Chainz is on it.
Yeah.
2 Chainz
Yeah,
is on
it's Click.
Click,
It's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like this was my real introduction to who Malice was. And he is like there's not too much people that I've been exposed to from a hip hop perspective that can do what he did on not only Inglourious Bastards and FICO, but just that project in general is ridiculous. It was genuinely ridiculous. I was really, really impressed. The next one would be, I don't know if you guys took this one in. It wasn't marketed as well as, of course, Let God Sort 'Em Out. But Chance the Rapper put out Starline.
Yeah.
Still haven't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
nominated as well, right?
Oh,
No,
Yeah, it is,
no.
it is.
I think it is.
I think it got snubbed.
Swear. I
Yeah,
thought it got
let me check.
included.
I'm pretty sure it got
Not
snubbed.
to
You
keep
know.
harkening to the Grammys.
I think
Yeah.
it got snubbed. I think it got snubbed because I heard someone speaking about it getting snubbed the other day.
I'll be surprised, man. There's
Chance did what he had to do mainly because he was on his last chance.
you reckon?
I don't think it's that.
Chance was on his last chance.
I don't
To be
think
fair,
it's that.
yeah. I mean, since what was the thing before after Coloring Book? Big
Bro, that
Big
one
Big
where
Day.
the one with
Big
the,
Day.
it was
The
a
peanut
Big
butter
Day.
jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with
Hey, that little sister. What?
I don't know what was going on. I don't know.
Divorce. That's what was going on.
Yeah, man.
No, I wasn't
Okay,
divorced at
then.
that point.
Nah, he was making.
Okay.
He was on.
then.
He was clearly on his way.
He was making some. Hey, what a wonderful
Good
without
day.
without the
it was
Jamaican
Hey Arnold.
influence.
It was
You know
Hey
what I mean?
Arnold.
Like it was.
It was Hey Arnold.
Fairs.
Hey Arnold, bro.
Fairs.
Cool Runnings music. That's what he was making. He was making Cool Runnings music.
Oh
bro.
my god. Feel the rhythm.
Hey, I kid you not. I've never watched Cool Runnings before in my life, you know.
Bro, I can't
Never
lie,
watched
bro.
it.
It's actually still
Nah,
a good
you
movie.
need to.
Yeah.
It's a feel good movie.
No,
I
I'm
can't
too old to learn about what foolishness they were doing in there. I
You
realized
gotta
they were
watch it,
American.
bro.
Can't lie.
You gotta watch it, bro.
It's one of them ones.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the vibe.
Come on, team.
It's Baslet.
You know what? It's even more prevalent for you to watch it now because we actually have a bobsled team that are doing very well.
Yeah, they're doing that thing.
Gold and everything.
So,
Right.
you gotta watch it. But anyway, sorry, Coach.
Boy,
Yeah, man. Starline. He, I mean, we know Chance is a talented rapper. He's a talented storyteller as well. But I feel like he really went back into that bag and reminded us how good he is at creating a picture so vivid. Like the way he brings you into Chicago sometimes and into his streams of thought is like you're not getting the lyrical spiritual miracle stuff, but you're getting a really, really well, beautifully painted picture. My favorite song from that project would probably be No More Old Men, I think it's
that's
called.
a really, really good song.
Yeah,
man.
it's an amazing song, effectively describing how economic changes, sociological changes, gentrification, all of these things means that the community, inner city communities, aren't the same. They don't feature the same things, people, and he's describing the old men of the older communities and what they meant to those communities and what they meant to him moving through 79th Street, Chicago. It's beautiful, man.
Which is dope because even though he's talking about that from like an American standpoint and then even like more micro than that, like a Chicago thing, I was listening to that and I was thinking like myself, like I don't really see like a lot of like the older men that were in my community as much anymore. Like obviously I'm bold, so I don't go to the barbers no more. But like that's a lot of the time where it was. Even like I'd say like churches, inside church is the husbands who have passed away before the wives have. Like do you know what I mean? I can't really think of a lot of the male like older influences that I want even still in this country. Of course, America, it won't really be like that because Americans are Americans like for them. Whereas like for us, we have people that will go back home, like we'll go to Jamaica, we'll go back to Ghana, we'll go back to Nigeria. So yeah, the ones that are in like my vicinity, even like my dad's age mates, like my dad's friends, a lot bare of them just aren't here anymore. Either they've died or they've gone back. And yeah, I really, when I was listening to that, I was really deep in like, raw, like, who is the old, like, what's that even gonna look like for my youths? Like, are they gonna have the experience of being inside the barbers and bantering? Because even on my barbers on the high road, they stopped doing like, they stopped showing Sky on the TV. So it's like people don't go there and watch football anymore because it was causing too much like noise. So do you know what I mean? Like even just those small experiences and what I mentioned before, with like people going in and shotting inside barbers, like I don't know if people still do that. Do you know what I mean? Like so much of the community feelings are gone. And I was like, it was really like interesting to me. Of course, maybe you didn't do it on purpose, but like how
It reminded you exactly of what's going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of his intentions outside of course, just telling that story the way he told it. But yeah, to what you just said there, that's a lot of those thoughts I felt when I first took it in. Yeah, it's a global thing. It's a global inner city thing. It looks different across the world, but what's beautiful is the way he made guys from London like feel essentially. So that was a great song, great project.
Before you go to your last one, sorry, I just want to say I think even though I still haven't listened to the album, I think the great thing about it is we actually saw that album being built. If you were on like especially his social media, like he was dropping freestyles and stuff for a while.
Oh really?
I don't know.
Beats,
Bro, like I don't know if Child of God features on the album, but Child of God was like one of the first songs that he was dropping early days. The song that I do know that's on there is The Highs and the Lows with Joey Badass. That song dropped in 2022 and I rinsed that. Like if you saw me on Instagram, I probably posted that every week when that song dropped. So like seeing it build from then to now and seeing the critical acclaim, but also just like people being like, nah, Chance is back to his best, like made me happy because growing up on acid rap, and then seeing that journey 10 Day as well, like seeing that journey from being a blog rapper, quote unquote, to now where he is kind of like having, I guess, his second prime, if you want to call it that, even though it's not really that. Like it's quite nice to see. So hearing you speak about the album like that makes me even more. Oh wow, makes me even more.
Guy playing GTA.
That's impossible.
As in he's in the server, crazy.
It's absolutely impossible. Never played the game.
Yeah, it makes me even more excited to listen to it when I do get around to it.
No, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
I was trying my best not to listen to too much of what he was doing because he'd already disappointed me to a certain degree. But then when those freestyles were coming out, I can't lie, when I heard him, he was spitting bars over one Stephanie Mills song, and I said, "Yeah, I'm sold. Whatever you're selling me, I've bought it, bro. But you better not disappoint me in this album." I actually, personally, I didn't really like the album in its entirety, but the parts that I did hear that I liked, it was enough for me to say, "All right, your next project I'll listen to again," and that's enough for me sometimes.
Fair. Okay. So yeah, Clips, Starline, from Chance the Rapper, the last album and song off that also would be Home by Retry 2.
Okay, of course.
That album is I don't need to wax lyrical about Retry 2. He's one of our best, if not the best. He performed again and it was an absolute it was a performance, man. My favorite song off the project is Feels, the last song.
Is that with Tiggs?
Yes, Tiggs Author, yeah. It's just beautiful, man. It's the instrumentation on that song, the outro, the way he brings, like, Retry 2 and his culture, his Jamaicanness is you can't. It's inseparable. Like you can't. It's
Batty and Bench for real, bro.
yeah. Like there isn't a song like across the whole project. Each song has its own thing, of course, and you got a few features on the project, but the way he manages to weave in his culture into a sound that sounds completely different to the song 2 songs ago, but the identity it's just there. Like you can, it's just loud. I can imagine for him, maybe that might be just easy to do, but I think it's crazy. Like there's not too many Retry 2 songs made of recent to where you would have to question, where's this guy from? Like, where does he? Like, what's his environment like? Like all of these things, and yeah, I really enjoy that, man. I really enjoy that, like that authentic approach to his art, the genuine approach to his art, and also in a market where, like, maybe his culture and being a Black Brit isn't as marketable as other products around. He doesn't care. He clearly doesn't care, and I hear he doesn't care.
I think me and T went to the show like that was associated with this. He did it at the Royal National Theatre. Sorry, National Theatre. Bro, it was incredible, and I think like obviously me and T being Jamaican, like, you know, tragedy has hit our country in a particular way. And then also on top of that though, we're dead set bang in the middle of an erasure of Jamaican culture within this country, particularly in London. And I think having someone like Wretch, like Jamaica has been bastardized until if it was a person, it would be a bastard. So now we're at a point where we have to keep our culture alive, like in every way that we can. You've got people that are still using our language incorrectly, even though they might even be of Jamaican heritage themselves, but they're using their language incorrectly. And Wretch is not one of those people. I think Wretch even bringing aspects of his journey with Rastafarianism into the project as well. It was just exactly what we needed, bro. We needed that, even though we're not even mentioning it as of yet. Same thing feels like, it felt like Haile's project and Wretch's projects were connected in a weird way, and I don't know how to really express that fully yet, or contextually. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the type of things they were saying, but to any Jamaicans that are listening, anyone of Jamaican heritage, like, that actually has a brain, keep it alive, innit? Keep it alive. No, I mean what I'm saying when it comes to having in the brain. Yeah, like, it has to be kept alive. Like, Wretch, that is the thing that I held so dear from that Wretch project, and the climate in which we're in, where the man are saying that we need to get out,
and he still chose to do that.
Facts.
Home is based around that. Wretch comes to speak. Wretch comes to speak out when it's time to speak out. Like, our grandparents came here. The same train line that got us here today is the same train line that our grandparents were building, because we had trains back home. Now we don't have trains back home, but everybody has trains here. So same with the NHS, same with all the streets that you see. We know, like, that's a whole other thing, but Wretch just hit the nail on the head. He felt the temperature, and he just came in and said, yeah, this is what this temperature needs.
Like, consistently as well, top to bottom, consistently. Like, it's very, very hard to end projects the way he did as well. Like, that's my favorite song is the last song. Like, I did not expect to hear that at the end, and I'm like, whoa, this is great. But yeah, I can't speak enough about that project. That project is really good. I still feel like I need to even take it in more. There's a lot of things that, as Wretch being Wretch, there's a lot of things that probably did go over my head, but yeah, that's a great project. So that's the 3 songs, 3 albums.
To before we move on, it's interesting with that album though, because I feel like I am probably one of the few who does have some critique of it, and we can't go into it in depth because it would start a whole nother debate and discussion. But as much as he nailed certain things, I think there are also elements where he could have developed them further. There's certain songs on there that I also just don't like. Like I don't like the title track. I don't like Home with Tenny. I really don't like it. And I've said that from the song dropped on like the video. I'm just not a fan of it. Even when we heard it live, I think I said it to Raya as well. That I'm just not a fan of the song. And there's a couple other songs on there like that as well, where I'm just like, I could have done without this. As a cohesive project, I definitely can respect it because of the topics and how you've been able to delve into them. I think most of the features as well are very good selections. Like I think I'm very glad to see Benjamin AD getting his flowers now.
Amen.
Because he's been about on the scene for time for people that don't know of him. So to see him on a song like that with arguably 2 of the current like torchbearers for the UK and Little Sims and Retry too, I was just very happy to hear that on it. But yeah, I have my reservations on the album, but we can go about that off camera and whatever. Maybe another day when we got more time.
That's
But
valid.
yeah,
That's valid.
Even Benjamin AD quickly, just the fact that Benjamin AD is just the R&B version of his brother to a degree is just amazing. Like Benjamin AD is Young Ad's brother,
and a lot of people don't know that.
and bare people don't know that.
That's mad.
Him and Young Ads are siblings.
That's mad.
Like, and when you get into Benjamin AD's like catalog, it is literally like R&B. Young, I don't even want to compare them because they're 2 separate entities, but that is literally what it is.
It's the yin and yang. Yeah.
Yin and yang for real.
Fairs.
So yeah, look into Benjamin AD if you haven't before.
Boy. Well, yeah, that's me. Outside of that, like last year, there was just a lot of carryover. Kendrick's project carried over quite a bit. Dodger Blue, TV Off, and yeah, just a lot of random. It was a weird listening year last year. I felt not in the derogatory sense, but it was just a weird music year as a result of that, because I feel like there's a huge relationship between what's happening economically and socially and the music that we get, but there was still a lot of great music that came out. But yeah, like I had like a straight month where I couldn't stop listening to Fleetwood Mac Dreams.
Bro,
Rhythm.
same.
Like what?
Bro, that happens to me all the time, man. Literally,
Rhythm.
like every 2 months, I'm spinning that tune. Thunder only happens
When it's raining. Like, bruv. Like, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much mine. In terms of EPs, yeah, again, like I don't think. Does Nux's project count as was that an EP or?
EP's like, well, it's a mixtape, but yeah.
I guess I include.
But then
that
actually,
for-
I don't know. You know, I feel like someone told me.
I felt like it was an
it's
album.
Actually, they put his debut album. I think part of the problem and Pete.
Nah,
Is
I
it?
think
I think it
Isn't
is,
Alpha
though.
House the debut?
No, because Alpha House isn't an album.
Alpha House wasn't an album.
Yeah.
Was that not his debut?
Nah, I
was
think
thinking
this
this when
album
you were
is.
speaking.
I think this album is, and if someone put it out
an
to me on
album.
this, yeah, I think it is. But
it is an album,
part of the
yeah.
problem
So-
is, and you touched on it, P. I don't think they did very well at promoting this album because there was a bag of people who said I didn't even know Nux was dropping
Same.
when I said it to them. And again, like I said, I still haven't listened to the project, but I was cognizant of what was going on. Maybe that's just because of how I am in general. But there were a lot of people who didn't know that Nux was dropping this project. And like I said, I'm pretty sure if you go on his Instagram, the like official post he made was, "This is my album or debut
Swear.
album," one of them. So even with that, like I guess I could say I'm somewhat disappointed in the project and how it's been delivered, because I'm just like, for those of us who have grown up around this UK scene, having watched Nux do everything that he's done, from Breakfast
21
and Tiffany's,
Candles.
21 Candles, like
Vows.
Home, like
Turnover.
bro, all of these great rhythms that he's created and these great moments to when we get to an Alpha House and we get the rhythm with him and SL, like bro, he has done so many great, like he's had so many great releases that for me, a fine African man, just doesn't seem to have done what I feel like it could have. But that's me, because it's very clear, like P said, I think it's done very well back home, and maybe that was the intent. Maybe it was for him to be able to tap back in with his heritage.
Perhaps, yeah. Choose that. It's not included in the list, but I really, really appreciated and loved Vena's project, Malik. Woo! That was fake.
Top of the pops.
That was fake.
He's another one that's never missed.
Top of the pops.
Got the vinyl. Vinyl looks fake. The song Veranda featuring Kari, fake. Yeah. Malik, fake.
Day by day, for me. Okay. Like I don't listen to the album as much. Yeah. But like whenever it gets to Day by Day, I'll spin that a couple of times because the vibe is just. I think when him and James, is it Jack James? Yeah. Like I don't really listen to Jack James a lot by himself. Again, I have that. I don't know what it is with a lot of like male UK singers. I go through like complexes of when I rate them and when I don't. But like him and Venna together, like like they just like what's that other one from his previous
Tamiym and Herbs.
It's just whatever there is and with James them. Cry. Whatever it is with them two, they just like knock it out of the park every single time, bro. So
friends, like again, watching them two grow like from the sidelines to where they are now. Again, like, it's been beautiful to see because like. If you go to Jack's first time on Colours, I don't know if he's had 2 times, but his first time on Colours is with Venna. Venna's playing sax for him, and at that point, a lot of people didn't know much about Venna. People didn't know he could sing. Like
I didn't know until this
project. Like he opened up even more to the point where it's like, oh, you really do this, and for me, who's like known him for a while and seen him come up, like just to see him like beginning to get the flowers that I know he will just continue to get is really beautiful. Like he's deserving of it because he's a music nerd, bro. Like that is a man that is a student of this thing and will continue to show you what he has learned through the music that he releases. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, that's about me. That's about me.
Fairs. Yeah. I'm robbing the vinyl from you, by the way. But yeah,
say no more, man.
Calm. I'll breeze through, man. For the most part. Wretch 3-2 Home was one of my albums as well. Obviously we've already spoken about it, but for me, one song that I didn't really take in as much as I did afterwards was I think it's Peace and Love with him and Scraps, which again I was really surprised to hear Scraps like that. And then, but even like Wretch's final verse, like I had a line, so my brother and my sister had a line. I guess we're trying to draw a way out, and then he goes on to the thing about about dams and like. The bottom of the dam is called a floor, and then he's literally just like water over the bridge. It's like it was just like raw, like you're actually, you're going crazy in like and he's doing it in like subtle ways. And even I know one of the songs I like that you don't like, the one with Angel, for me, because like but I really rate the tune, or I really like the song because again like during this year one of my sisters was pregnant. So him talking about that unison of like husband, wife, or man and woman, and child on the way, like your belly's getting bigger. Like it just felt like to me the song's like a photo album, and it was just like I'm seeing some of that journey happen. Like when I'm helping my sister and her husband like build their crib, like put stuff together. Like I felt that. So yeah, for me it was really dope. And one I didn't like the first time I heard it, not gonna lie. Like when you lot said in the GC like how much you lot liked it, I was just like, yeah, it's cool. Cause I get to like the first tune, I was like, yeah, cool, I like this. But again because Wretch, like he doesn't use like he's very in a pocket with the beats he makes. They're not like new and they're not old. They're just like kind of Wretch. Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're just like Wretch beats. So it's like similar to like obviously my man's in his situation, but similar to like Gets. It's like very much like Gets has a sound and it's like I wouldn't say it's like current or old unless when he does something super experimental. But yeah, I didn't like it the first time I heard it, but then I took it in. Then Son of Spurgey is my second album by Daniel Caesar.
Thank you very much.
Like, and I know people cancelled Daniel Caesar, but I didn't. To be honest.
Oh, fair.
I didn't. At first I did, but then I went back to see what he
What did
really
he do?
said, and it was just
Just
it was
like
just
white women
stupid.
too much.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Honestly,
Not even that.
honestly, that's what it is.
It
he was
is,
he
but
was
that's
that,
literally that's what it
that's
comes down
basically
to.
what it
That
was.
is basically
And
what it comes
he
down to.
likes white girls and he has
That is what
white
it comes
friends,
down
so
to,
he was
bro.
just like, oh, you know what, guys, we
Like,
need
I
to
don't
we
even
need
really see, like, racism.
yeah, we
Like,
need
it was one of
we
them,
need to
like,
move past
yeah.
it.
No,
Type
but the
beat.
thing was, I think if I'm not mistaken, the specific issue was because he backed Yes Jules.
Yes, like
Because he
women
was
too much.
saying we need to move past it. That's what he was saying.
But he's the thing is, it's so funny because now he's gone back on his words.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
he has gone back
Like,
on
he's
his
gone
words.
back and said, you know what?
he
I
did
was
probably
he's
either
wrong.
shouldn't.
He's
Like, he said something along
He
the
said
lines
that
of,
he shouldn't
I
have-
shouldn't,
Yeah, I remember
I
when
shouldn't
he
have
said
spoken or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
which again for most part, yeah, like especially with I might be out of turn
saying
by saying
growth.
this, but especially with, like Black Americans, a lot of the time when they say like something ignorant, which or it comes across ignorant to me, I'm just like, okay, cool, you're on your journey with whatever it is in your identity because you're like, and I don't want to, again, I'm not there, so I don't want to sound like super hypocritical, like super judgmental on it because I'm
Yeah.
not actually in that environment to go through that with them. But I'm just like, yeah, like you man have to go through your own journey
Yeah.
with your blackness in a different way than I have to go through my journey.
All
with
that
my
self-
That's
blackness.
anybody
So it's-
black, bro.
Bro, literally everybody's going through their own journeys, but especially them, man. When they say some of the stuff, I'm just like, alright, cool. But and especially like who's young, you're young-ish, you will get it. There will be a point where dark nigga like still like you will feel that. Anyway, but yeah, I really liked this album. I listened to his previous one. I forgot what it's called.
It is called
Never Enough.
Never
Enough. I listened to
That
one
one.
before that. Like I really love Daniel Caesar's music, and here with the
Yeah,
with
the blue
the
one.
like with Valentina and what's that other genre? 07 Toronto, 017 Toronto, something like that. Toronto,
No,
07.
Toronto 90, 2000 and something.
Yeah, like I've been on his music, so yeah. This album in particular, amazing. The gospel influence inside of it as well. It's just like it's the perfect blend for me of like R&B and gospel, and it's even more so gospel than it feels like quote unquote traditional R&B. But this guy's voice,
Bro,
like
Sins of the
what he,
Father
bro,
could be
Boy, I
one
can
of the
say.
best songs
bro,
that I've ever
like,
heard in my
and
life.
I don't even like the last part of the song like
Me
that.
neither.
But
I
it's
just-
just
I
like
just
I
keep
let
that
it
first
run
part, bro.
because the first is so good. Like,
They're hearing crickets and that. Like,
bro, nah, exactly that. Like, there's something. Maybe it's the spirituality of it, but that album, yeah, it's just so good. Like, it's so good. Even the picture of it being like his dad, and of course, there's so much like similar to like I guess Koji's 23 Winters in terms of like making reference to his dad and his music, but then there's also like a mixture of his dad and God, like God being the father with it. So yeah, it's dope. And then my third album of the year is Dave, the boy who played the harp, and I know we've spoken about it. And again, with me, I don't really like albums a lot. The albums I like the most, I don't really like them the first time I heard them. Daniel Caesar's one, I like that for it. Can't lie to you. But like Dave's one, the first time I heard it, maybe because I wasn't like taking in what he was saying, the musicality of it was very jarring. Like the first time I heard it, it was just like, even like still, I really don't like the intro like that. So history, you know, it's history.
So
I don't like the way the beat drops into the chorus. Like I'm not that big a fan of it. Like, but again, I'm a big reaction channel watcher. Like I know you man are as well. So a lot of the time when I don't like something, sometimes I watch a reaction video to get somebody else's perspective on it, because even the parts that they clip, they might hear or put something in that I haven't. And I remember when we spoke about it, I'd only ever got to, I think it was Selfish, but I didn't even listen to Selfish like that because I really hate the beginning of Selfish as well. I hate the maybe it's day, maybe it's light. It just felt very like, especially when I wasn't paying attention to the rest of the album, it was just very like, oh, okay, I'm getting nursery rhymes here. Then when I listened to it again,
Christ.
no, for real, I only really like 175 months the first time I listened to it, because it had like an old like DJ Ironic type sound to it. So I was like, okay, cool, that I like. Yeah. But the rest of it was just like, Then I got to Fairchild and I was like, okay, I'm actually paying attention now because I have to. Mm-hmm. And then when I listened to it again in totality after that, I was like, okay, cool, now I really like this. I think it's it's annoying sometimes when somebody puts like, or what I would think them putting like the musicality or like the instrumental away from like, they're not prioritizing that in terms of like the content, but then also like the content sometimes is more important than the instrumentation and the from that side of things in terms of like the beats and stuff. So yeah, I really like what he was talking about. I think again, like it's brave of, what's the best way to say it? I would say us five here, yeah, we wouldn't really think the stuff he's saying is as deep because that's stuff we talk about all the time or stuff that is, do you know what I mean? But then when I took myself out of it, especially more so the reaction channels and stuff like that, I was like, I can't really think of when somebody has spoken like this publicly. I might speak about this type of stuff or the hypocrisy of the life we live like to my friends all the time, but who really does that in an artist space on his level? Yeah, like nobody, to be honest. And it's not even like a...
I'd say Rich
I wouldn't even say Wretch, because I think Wretch speaks about issues, but he doesn't speak about the hypocrisy of his issues, to me anyway. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does it to that scale.
I don't
Do you get what I mean?
understand it. Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Like, I would say maybe Kendrick, but a lot of Kendrick, early Kendrick, kind of felt like,
I'm speaking about this issue of this person
whereas,
that I've lived around.
Do you get what I mean? Whereas with Dave, it's very much myself.
There's a lot of mirror checks.
Do you know what I mean? I'm in church, more worried about the service on my phone. I'm going to these places because I can. I'm going to Dubai. I'm going to Niger. I'm going Jamaica. I'm going all these places. And I can feel, because of the experiences that I've lived with and from his previous tapes where he spoke about his mum, her being a cleaner for some time points in a nightclub and stuff, like just that juxtaposition already is playing on your mind because that's your reality. Like, again, even me, like family, people have been cleaners. Is that why I show more respect to people when I'm in certain environments and I don't know, but I do feel that type of way. Like, do you get what I mean? Like the magnitude of that, what's going on. Like, I feel it. So to hear somebody else say that in that space is very brave to me. And even lyrically, like he was spitting on this, like, which again, people might not agree, but I felt it. I felt it. And then
it's
Who wants to go first?
like, no, crazy. Bullshit. I don't want to. Because we actually no.
What's that thing? What's that clip where it's like, I think it's even a Kendrick's album, and it's like, I can't believe this. You know what's crazy? Jay-Z thing is a Jay-Z.
You know what's crazy? I don't want to spend too long on it because obviously time constraints. Yeah. The thing for me is, bro, like, there's just too much talent in that young man to be coming out with a project like that, in my opinion.
How many times have you listened to it?
And bro, I'm so sorry, but there are some times in this life, and you know what's crazy? I do tend to, I give artists chances. I feel like I really do. And I feel like even with Dave, I feel like I've given him plenty of chances. It sounds like I'm scolding him, bro, because I think, but I'm really not, because I feel like on a lyrical level, he clearly he can only get better, but he's at the level where he's proven himself, where man can't ramp with him like that. I still think that there is a level that is above him. So your Wretches, Kanos gets, I think that's still a level above him, but when it comes to anyone else, he has surpassed them. For the most part, he has surpassed them. Don't want to hear about no Krypton Conans, none of them, man. They are not. No, Krypton Conan can rap, bro. Like, I'm not gonna punchline. They can rap. Like, they can rap. They've got their way of doing it, but they can rap. They may have regressed, but I know where they're coming from.
Did you catch that shade? That was flawless.
That wasn't shade, bro. That was flawless. That wasn't actually shade. I'm just keeping it a bean as someone that has rapped in the past, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think with Dave, the thing for me is I'm big on, if your level of talent in terms of using words and rapping, flows, pockets, if it is of that level, I really just want you to have it doesn't have to be even the same level, but the musicality is one thing that is on the side of a milk carton.
Bro, I urge you to go back and listen.
Let's
to
stop
album.
right there, because I know what I heard.
Bro,
I know what I heard.
How many times?
And it was crazy. I went through the same process as you. I listened to it the first time, and then I went straight to my old faithful reaction guys. Listen to my Vibe Villa. I listened to who else did I listen to?
You taking John Denton?
I think I went to the Mallory Brothers as well. I can't remember who else, but those are like my main two guys in it. And I think the thing is that I'm not making this decision based off this album solely. I'm also bringing into mind what I feel like I've always felt from the previous projects as well, where it's like we said when it came to and I think also how I will hear your album and view your album will also be based on other releases within the year. So I'm not one of those people that does UK project for UK project or US project for US project. This is hip hop, bro. This is rap. This is a whole ecosystem. We have Let God Sort Us Out. We have, like you said, GNX has just come off the tail end of that. We have God Does Like Ugly by Jid. We have so many different hip hop projects that have dropped this year. Yeah. Musicality is a real thing, and because there's examples of this on this album that show me what it is that I do want to be hearing from him. So for example, chapter 16, as much as it's very this is old Drake, nothing was the same era type beat, it's still better than some of the other things that I was hearing. Most of the things that I heard on this album was based on him rapping, where I didn't really have to focus on the beat as such. Bro, I'm telling you, like, for a guy that is that talented, the talent is there. Like, but one thing that I feel like I've given 3 albums worth now. You're now 27, yeah. Been listening to him since he was 21, something like that. 19 maybe. The one thing that is very apparent to me is that, in my opinion, there is a lack of taste. And when there is a lack of taste, you will always kind of miss the mark. For me, you can have all the talent in the world, bro. If you are lacking taste and you're someone that produces on top of that, there's always going to be a mismatch there for me. And you can rap really well till you're blue in the face if you don't have the taste to bring the music together with that. Because it's not like it was do or die. It's not like you couldn't have conveyed the same messages that you did without having better production. And when I say taste comes down to the singular things you pick. Is that the right kick? Is that the right snare? Are these hi-hats meant to be here? I don't think they are. Is this meant to be here? Is this meant to be here? I think there needs to be a different direction for him. And he's got time on his hands. Like, he's got time on his side. But that's my opinion on it personally.
I don't think it's a direction thing. I think, and me and Cod spoke about this, I think Dave has the same issue, not same, but similar issue to J. Cole at a stage in his career. Because you produce and rap, I think there's always going to be
You're gonna get stuck in your style.
Not even that.
Not stuck. You just do random things.
I don't even think it's that. I think there's always going to be a loss on the threshold of where you can reach with one side of it, because you have to focus on both simultaneously.
What was that J. Cole album? It was Bare Pots and Pans.
For Your Eyes Only.
No, The King Is Dead.
You're talking about KOD.
No, KOD. That's it.
And I like KOD, but anyway, I think. It's crazy, isn't it?
Quite accurate.
This guy said it's
No,
like,
KOD is a good album.
we're
not getting into that. Anyway,
when Ursula,
we're not getting into that today.
I don't like lyrical rappers, that make music where they feel like they want everyone to do this.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
Count it up.
That was KOD. Yeah.
Oh
That is what KOD was, bro.
But back to Dave.
Oh my god.
Bro, he's taking a bit. Back to Dave.
Taco Tuesday.
I think, like,
I'm so.
right, man.
Can
Yeah, I think the issue for Dave currently, for me anyway, is that I think you've dropped 3 very good projects, but I still don't know which one of them is your best project, because all of them have elements that are really, really good. From Psychodrama up, we knew you were talented. Even from the EPs before that, or mixtapes, or whatever you call them, he clearly has talent. But I think at some point, a decision is going to need to be made. And the reality is, you're a rapper, so I think it just should be a thing of, for this album, I'm not going to touch production. I might deal with additional prod, or more so like the exec side of it, where once we've produced it, I've rapped, then I go in and fine tune certain elements of it. But I really think that is when you will get the best version of Dave. Because I think we've passed the point of being like, oh, Dave's monotonous, so like there's a ceiling there. I think that's just how he raps. There are a plethora of great rappers that we listen to that are monotonous in their delivery. That is just Dave. That is the tone that he sits at. Even at times on this album, he showed us that he has the ability to step out of that, even though sometimes it just didn't feel authentic to him. For me, like even times where on chapter 16 where there's inflections within his voices, I understand because it's meant to be a conversation. That naturally happens, but just sometimes the delivery of it wasn't done well for me. And I think it's hard to compare because Ryan did it, like, but comparing him with the OGs for me is very difficult. But on that song, I don't have a choice but to, because you are literally going back and forth with one of the person who I currently think is the best rapper within the UK. Kano is phenomenal at what he does.
So good.
And he shown you that on that song. Like, and I'm not saying it was a night and day thing between him and Dave. Dave definitely kept up. But it was a thing of, you're still learning to get to where I am. And that's the thing. I think, like I said, I just think at some point Dave's just going to have to sit with himself and say, you know what? Whether it is Fraser T. Smith, whether it is James Blake, whether it's someone totally different, I would love to hear him. I don't think he's rapped over at Mill Production, but I would love to hear that.
If you no, because bro, no, T, I'm dead serious.
No, bro. I get where you're at.
It would open up your fourth eye, like honest
to
God.
Okay,
honest.
No, the third eye's already open. He's saying the fourth eye.
The fourth one, bro.
Yeah,
like
where's
Emil has the production where it's flow state, bro. He would be getting into a place where Dave can live, and his message would be even conveyed even more, even better, because you want to be able to feel what someone's saying, even if you muted them out of it and the music itself is just playing.
I do agree with you on that, like with what you guys have said. I wouldn't be able to just, some songs I can on this, like my 27th birthday, like the beat change, I can feel I'm becoming more angst. So the beat change reflects that, and it feels like it, like, what's the best way to say it? A lot of the moodier songs, like Drake's moodier songs, is like you can feel that it's a moody song. Whereas in comparison to this, on some songs, it's just like, okay, this is just dark. Where like the beat is just dark, not the subject matter, but the beat is just dark, and it's like, do you get what I mean? Like I probably say one of the dark, like the darkest content was like Fairchild on this song. I think the beat is fine because yeah, I think the beat is fine because it's like, it's very story-esque. Do you get what I mean? That feels more like, oh yeah, an actual like story. So I don't really mind it as much on that, but I do get what you're saying. Like, yeah, even songs that I don't like on God Sort 'Em Out. It's like, yeah, like Inglorious, but how's the beat for Inglorious Bastard? Yeah, I really don't like that song as much, but I get it.
I'll listen
like
to it.
even Ibida, I wasn't that big a fan of at first, but the beat made me like it because I'm just like, this feels like luxury rap. Baguettes, this feels like luxury rap. Like it's just, whereas is there Dave songs that have that feeling?
It's like there's nothing to fall back on. If the
bars aren't there, then
the bars are holding up, then it's like,
and also cool. He did something weird with his voice in this one. Like it was very like I don't know if it's pitched down or like made it softer. His voice wasn't. Yeah, his voice wasn't as harsh as it usually is, and it just felt like, it felt kind of like a little bit drowned out.
I think last thing I'll say on that, you've never walked away from a Dave album saying it was a production masterclass.
Oh no,
true,
not
very
once.
true, very true,
Never.
very true.
It's not been a thing. They're not two sentences you've ever heard together.
You're right, completely. And to go into the EPs, a complete contrast of that. Prof Hurts the New Sexy.
Woo! Talk
It's
on
defo there. I won't take too much time, but yeah, like what he did on that project. Again, I'd only ever seen clips of Prof on like IG ads, because that's where I think that's what he was doing with a lot of his music. I was just like, I would hear this guy spitting, this light skinned brother with braids or light skinned brother with like one of the skull caps or something on. And I was just like, oh, this is like a light skinned brother who can rap. I'm not just being pushed like a light skinned brother who's rapping. Like, do you get what I mean? And then I was like, no, like, he's actually cold. I will take it in. I probably screenshotted those Instagram ads like 3 different times. And each time I'm like, oh, let me take, who's this? Oh, this is the same guy I still haven't listened to yet. So then this time around, it came up on my thing. And maybe just the vibrancy of like the cover and what made me like listen to it.
Great artwork.
And I was just like, I don't think the first song I wasn't in love with it.
What was the first song?
Let me get in my shit.
Okay.
When I was in school, I would kick your shin. Like, I wasn't really feeling that at first, or even as much in that the rest of the tape. But then I took in the rest of it. I took in.
Sorry. Kick your shin. Like,
Yeah. No, because he did like a sound effect afterwards as well. It was a bit weird. But then I listened to the rest of it, and good God Almighty, this guy was going like the beats were infectious. His flows were infectious. Like, it was just so good. The first part was like very like more upbeat-ish. And then it got to, I think, is it Heroes Demo where it takes
Heroes
Demo
where
it took a twist?
It's one of the best things
and I was
I've
just
heard
like,
in my life, bro.
Like he was just very vulnerable and honest. Even in that song.
So how many songs are on the EP now? How much?
I can't remember. They've taken off like 2, I think. They took off 2.
The thing is, on Spotify, it's still all together.
Yeah.
On Apple Music, it split everything up. Like, split up every single song. Because I think what happened was the sample on Heroes Demo, which is by Juno, that got taken off completely. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Spotify still has it. But Heroes Demo is gone. But it still has the rest of the EP.
Heroes Demo, you can probably find it on YouTube. Heroes Demo is incredible because it's literally just talking about like
even Wretch
meeting all of his heroes, like meeting Wretch, meeting Stormzy.
Drake reposting his music, like it's just very vulnerable. Even his voice sounds a little bit more different on that song than it does with the rest of the album, and it or project rather, and it just works. And then them versus us, like he's just us or them. It's just like, bro, like the stuff he's doing. Like if Dave ever got on a beat like that,
it's long,
bro.
It's
like
long.
It's like
that song,
it's so good. It's so rich in texture, in instruments.
Like what he's even saying in it, like it's just like us or them is like, is it us against the world type vibe, like, but it's just the instrument and it's the fact that all of this whole tape was produced by him. Like he produced it himself, like he is so good production wise and so good, like so good of a rapper. Like he is of that ilk. Like the first time you ever heard A2, the first time you ever heard Nux, and you just knew what it was that you were hearing. Like you knew you were hearing greatness. Like you knew you were witnessing greatness. That is what that project did for me. I did I put it in the group chat? Or
yeah, you're the reason why I listened to it.
Yeah, but like I was just like, this is insane.
Yeah, he's so good. He still has those moments of like saying corny bars sometimes. Like even in Baguettes where he's like talking about fucking a girl on the balcony.
Where's he
Michael
from?
Jackson.
Era?
South, man.
Okay.
And then he has another bar in that same song with Wretch about the Carhartt jumper. Like he still has like some of those corny bars, but the majority of it is really, really good. And especially the second half of the tape, just stellar job. Like it's, even though I could go on forever. Leon Thomas Folks was one for me as well. Like just the heat, bro. You're in for you're gonna love the way he does stuff. Like, and again, this is like more like it's kind of funk-ish, kind of like maybe the first song. Some of it is like kind of psychedelic-ish, R&B. It's like whatever he's doing, he's just doing it really well. Like he's doing it really well, and he hits the nail on the head every time. I think the only song I didn't really like that much at first was Baccarat, but then afterwards, when it caught me. I'd say my favorite thing off that tape is, which really surprised me because I don't even like 4 Bats like that, but Lone Wolf, bro,
I like it.
It's so cold. And I'm just like, if you're if you have the ability to make someone like 4Bats make a concise song that makes sense, because 4Bats only ever really does like a verse and then changes it. But on that song, him just having his verse and then being on the chorus, I was like, wow, I could actually see this person being a better artist. And that's just from working with Leon Thomas. Same way with Odile, like Miami. It's like, for me, that's the standout tune from the tape in an R&B sense from Odile's thing. But yeah, like, it's just, Leon, bro, it's just so good. Trapped, Lone Wolf, How You Are, or Just How You Are, 5 More Minutes. I was listening to that on the way here, like, bro, and it all sounds different. Like, he is insane. On this tape, he left Earth. Like, then K1, with all due respect, just, again, we've already spoken about it, but again, the choices that she makes with stuff is so weird, but it works. Like, a tune like, people, you wouldn't think somebody would sample Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday in like a serious sense. Yeah, do you know what I mean? In like a proper serious sense. Usually them type of tunes are like, do you know what I mean? Like more playful. Whereas
Sway did it, innit? Sway back in the day. Sway the Suffer.
I can't remember.
And Sliver's done it as well.
But for the way she did it, it just like, it was just really well done. Like the whole tape. And again, for somebody who's making a tape that is quite crude in the language, is like she kept it interesting. Whereas some artists, when they do that, they can't keep it interesting. It just becomes a sex fest. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I say somebody like, maybe like might disagree or agree with me. P&D with his PX4, I did something similar where it was like, even though it's very crude, you still made really good music with it. I think it's very hard to listen to people talk about sex or sing about sex when it's just very corny, like, oh, I hit this chick from the back and just like, that's why I had a lot of issues with some of Drake and Party's one this time around, because a lot of what Party was saying was just sit on the dick, sit on the dick, like I might waterproof the seats for some pussy. What? Do you get what I mean?
I don't know if you need to re-say that.
Sorry, but it's just, yeah, she did it amazingly. I really liked it. As for songs, I really had to squeeze this, but yeah, Have a Baby With Me by Daniel Caesar. This guy is just so, bro, like, he says something like, what's it? He said you're on the, he said something like, I'm on the bed, but your shadow's already like getting dressed. Like the way he pieces words together in this, it's just like, even that whole album I spoke about. There's one part where he says my melancholy dissipates, but he makes it sound like amazing, like saying that. Whereas it's like, what song would you hear somebody say my melancholy dissipates? You wouldn't. Like, it's just, he's too cold. Have a Baby With Me is such an amazing song. Like, you can listen to that and fall asleep. You can listen to that and drive. Like, it's just amazing. Speed of Love by Chance the Rapper is the last song is on his album, and for me, I like the original version because they did like a retcon with Jasmine Sullivan's vocal in one part at the beginning. I liked it. It was jarring to me at first, but when I heard it again, I was like, oh, I actually really like that part. But the whole song is just about basically what we were talking about, like him being in a space where his fan base ain't really rocking with him like that. The world isn't really rocking with that. And it's kind of like him talking about, there's parts in here where he's talking about how hurt he was by that. And like also like growing up in a, because to an extent, like he said it in one of his interviews, I think it was with Rory and Moore, and he was just like, yeah, like I'm like a child actor, bro, but like in a music sense. Like I dropped 10 Day when I was like 16 or something like that, or 17. I was literally in high school and I got suspended for 10 days. Like I was a youth, and I've released music every other phase of my life. Even for when I was getting married, I released music for the world about this. Like each phase of my life, and he speaks about it on this song. He's just like, so wish me well as I travel through space time, looking for love that I should have found on FaceTime. Like he's very aware that I could have formed this justification, this gratification that I get from you guys as like fans. I could have got that from like genuine relationship with people around me, but that's not the case. So when I'm going through it, it's like, I need you lot to like ride for me like family. And he has one bar in it where he's like, the castle, the kingdom isn't the castle, it's the knights that ride for it. Which people say all the time, like whenever it's like one type of show, they'll be like, oh, who's the king? On like, they'll bring out a chessboard, they'll be like, who's the queen or who's the king, basically. And it's always the pawns, because they're the people that make up the king, or they make, like, if people believe in something enough, it's gonna be where it is. Without that, regardless, whoever you are, whatever you think you have, without the people backing it, it's not gonna bang. So he was basically saying, like, for you lot, like, I get this might not have been a thing, but if you lot like change the narrative, if you lot had rode for me with that, it could have become a thing. Whereas now he's asking that same support. And in the last lines of the song, it was, again, like what you were saying in terms of the musicality, changing the mood of music or how you feel about it. He takes out a lot of that, the beat, and it's just the vocals, and it's him just talking about how he started making music. Like, before I got the love from you, man, for this, it was literally just me and my dad in the backyard, like writing my name on Sharpie, with a Sharpie on like a CD disc. And the way he phrased it, like the speed was cartoon. It's just very childish, but like it needed to be childish because he was talking about an intimate moment with his dad when he was technically a child, and it just worked. So I really liked that. And my last song was, I really struggled to pick between Us or Them and this one, but Back in the Club by K1 is just so good. Even the turning on, the sound of an old school TV turning on. I can't remember if it's a JVC or a different TV, or even like, or like HBO, or I think it's even HBO. When HBO shows used to start, it would have that sound. Yeah, like it's just so good, so intentional, so quirky, but like that nostalgicness, and then coming in with like, I don't know what sound that is afterwards.
Oh,
do you get what I mean? Like
What, the
synth, the synth.
Yeah.
And then dum, 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 dum. Such a like iconic like rhythm, like, or pattern. And she just capped it off with just being, and I think that's the least sexual song on the album, on the tape. And she's just so good. Like, what made you think to do that? Even putting in a bridge in a song these days is like an amazing thing, because people don't really do that. And then to change the pitch, I'm sorry to say that I'm in love with your body. Like, what? Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? Making me feel type of way, goddamn. But yeah, like it was so good. But yeah, that's my stuff.
Fair enough. Goodness.
Let's try run through this because we ain't got much time. Cool. My
Certain
top
guys
three.
said 11:30, by the way.
This guy's a liver.
I even said 11.
He was 11. My three fave albums this year were Daniel Caesar, Son of Spurgey. It's ridiculous, man. So ridiculous. I think it was strange for me because as much as I know through Daniel Caesar's discography how he has spoken about his Jamaican heritage and how he doesn't shy away from it at all, you know, the whole story of his dad being a Jamaican gospel singer and having his dad on the actual project, you know, singing on there, and you can even hear them having literally the same voice for the most part as well.
What song is his dad on?
His dad is at the end of Baby Blue, I believe. That little part at the end where the falsetto is singing, that's his dad singing.
What, Jesus?
That's his dad singing.
What's his dad's name? Like,
no, there's
Simmons,
no,
innit?
bro.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's his dad. And
that,
obviously
bro.
the picture on the front is his dad.
Yeah, that is so.
Yeah.
I need a picture, but that
Yeah.
being his dad
That's
there.
his dad singing.
What? No Will Simmons.
That's his dad. That's his dad.
Brother.
Singing, bro.
What? That's
his
one of
dad
I.
singing.
Sometimes I skip past the rest of the Baby Blue and I go, or I listen to Baby Blue just to hear that.
That's
part.
his dad, bro. That's his dad.
And his
When I found out that was his dad,
love.
I said, "Oh, this." I ended up listening to the project in a complete different. Like, even though I loved the project regardless, and it was in my thing there, like I was just like, "Yeah, Daniel, you have not failed me. Like
Bro.
never enough. Yeah, alone. Like that was for that year that came out. That was
That's what 23.
Yeah. Do you really like me? All of that, like, bro, what I was going through at the time for him to drop that project. I said, yeah. But for me personally, like, Sins of the Father with Bon Iver. Is it Bon Iver? I thought it was Bon Iver, but I can't really put into words fully what that song is. Like it is. This year last year I had my whole relationship with, you know, what religion was to me and so on and so forth. But there is no way that I've had plenty of experiences in my life where, you know, I'm fully aware that there is a God. But even it's the type of song that would make an atheist question something. It will make an atheist question, maybe there is something at the very least. I ain't saying they're gonna roll into a church or a mosque, but they're gonna like at least think that there is something.
Even I got all this hate in my heart, but I ain't got nowhere to. Bro, like I feel that. I feel that, and I do
have all this hate in my heart.
I have nowhere to put it.
And sometimes I know where to put it, but I don't. But yeah, that is just phenomenal. Like that is R&B projects of the year, like hands down. Like every single song. The song with Yeba is stupid. The song with Yeba is absolutely stupid. Baby Blue, Call on Me. Yeah. Anyway, the clip's got Let God Sort 'Em Out. Obviously, we've spoken on that in depth already. That is just a stupid album. Hip hop is alive. Hip hop can never ever die. Same as R&B. Like they are two genres that can never ever die. They've tried to kill it. It won't die. And my third album is Chronixx Exile. Chronixx, we have been waiting for that project for years and years and years and years and years and years. Since Chronology, which I believe came out in 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
Could even be earlier. We've waited a long time for a Chronixx album. I was lucky enough to go to All Points East last year, where the dust tried to take me out. And
honestly, thank God you made it.
Thank God I made it for real, because I was sneezing for days and days as if I was an Antarctican. I was confused. But either way, he performed a lot of the music and debuted a lot of the music from that project live first. I heard it on a live aspect first, and I knew what I was hearing was absolute greatness. Luckily for me, Chronixx Exile dropped while I was out in Grenada over my birthday as well. I managed to listen to it. That was the first time I listened to it. Set the tone. I think for what, like, once again, the timing was impeccable. There is a song on there called Hurricane that is on that project, and then a hurricane hit Jamaica. And what the song itself is about is so timely as well, like in regards to all of that. Reggae music is alive and well. I think that Inflow is a producer of immeasurable talent. He has done multiple genres. I think being able to capture a time of reggae that is really heavily based around roots reggae, 70s, like what the sonic that Bob Marley was able to capture, and for you to capture that in this modern time, I didn't even think it could sonically be possible on a mix and a mastering level, much less on a just sonic level. To be able to do that, it's actually truly insane what Inflow did production wise on there. Chronixx vocally, he is one of the best vocalists in any genre that you'll ever come across. So clean, knows when to riff, he just knows his timing of what he does, his pockets, his writing. It's incredible album. I'm gonna get that on vinyl. It's just, yeah, that project really means something to me. There were loads of other albums that were great, but I'm not even gonna get into those because I'm trying to be fast. Fave EPs / mixtapes, or things that weren't classed as projects. First and foremost, I'm putting my project, which is Mad She Loves Me, She Loves Me Not. Don't want to harken on about it because it's my own music, so it never sounds completely correct, I guess, coming from me. It sounds biased, but
I will if you know.
yeah, like I put a lot of work into it for a lot of years. That is one of the best R&B projects that have been released last year, in my opinion. Just based on everything that you hear me talk about, even on this pod, I think I've been able to kind of make it translate to what this means to me in that project. And I've just come on so many levels from that as well. So yeah, that's one that I'd put in there. I have to put Sasha Keeble at right in there. I think it was a long time waiting for us to get a Sasha Keeble project because she's been releasing singles for what feels like an eternity and she hasn't missed once. But for her to have Leave It Alone with Leon Thomas and Act Right on there, she even more recently dropped Tai Chi, which we've been waiting for ages. I just think Sasha is like, considering that she is a white woman that is in a black genre, it's really not one of those situations where I can really have too much to say on her, because I think a lot of the criticism that we do need to save is for the untalented, and that is not what she falls into. Her talent is very clear, like extremely clear. Like that vocal that she has, you know exactly who it is that you're hearing as soon as she opens her mouth. I think all of the synergy that you've got from all of her music, whether it was that her previous work with K1, consistently linking up with Destin Conrad, consistently linking up with Ambre or whoever it is you want to place there, you know, she's just got the right formula right now, even though she's been around for a very long time. And to copy off Den's K1, with all due respect, there's nothing really much to say, to be honest with you. If it wasn't going to be that as my project of the year, it was going to be Son of Spurgie. And I managed to see K1 live as well. I think this is somebody that, a real student of the game. I was tapped into K1 early enough because my own producers have worked with her as well. I think my first time hearing her was No Cinderella. I think that was my first song I think I heard from her, maybe something a little before that as well. She's just, the fact that she can, it's like T said, like auto-tune is an aesthetic for many, myself included, depending on how much auto-tune you want to put on, depends on the artist. The fact that she is clearly using it as an aesthetic, and the fact that that girl can sing, like that girl can actually sing, like this ain't no ramping. She's incredible. Pen is incredible. Work ethic is incredible. What it means to her is incredible. Real student of the game. I'm looking forward to the part 2, the side B of this project that's coming next this year, I believe. So yeah, like that's that. And in terms of my fave songs, Back of the Club is in there as well. Back of the Club is R&B song of the year. It was going to be between that and Leon Thomas, Not Fair for me, but I think that
Not Fair is the year before.
No, it's this year. It was last year. Not Fair's on Mutt Deluxe, which came out last year.
Oh, why do I feel like it was part of the
Yes, it
original?
is.
My bad.
Yes, it is. Was a part of the original. And all
Yeah,
of those,
I know
all of
that.
those songs. And yeah, like Back of the Club, like it has everything. Like Den said, like that is what R&B music is in that particular iteration. That's what the flip it is, bro. The bridge, the even the melodic choices that K1 made on that, like it's so interesting how people hear music, because if I heard that, I know that beat is cold, but it would take me a while to figure out how to actually approach it on a melodic level. It's in a weird place chord wise, like very, very weird place chord wise. And it's just an incredible song.
To jump on that, do you think it was, even though they're not the same, do you think it's in a space of a Folded? Because like Folded is I'd say is a really good beat as well, but like also whenever I hear people try and sing that song, it's always a challenge.
I think Folded is a lot easier. I think also with Folded, the reason why that one, as much as it is one of the best R&B songs that I've heard in a long time, and it's one of the best R&B songs of last year, there is a level of rawness to Back of the Club that I don't get with Folded. Folded is an incredible R&B record. Back of the Club sounds like K1 put a duvet over her head and had the mic on and just
literally starts off saying, scared of saying too much. Yeah.
like it's just sounds like I was in my bedroom and I made this. And that is the aspect of it that
I think she has said.
She has said that. That's what she does with most of her shit anyway. And you can hear it. Like, it's really, there's a solace to it. Sometimes I can hear records and I know that there was multiple people in the room. And I feel like that's how I feel about Folded.
Yeah, first.
So that, and that's fine.
Oh no, I'm also just meant like approaching. You know how you said like you vocally, like how the melody that she chooses and stuff. That's more so what I meant. But
yeah, I think what I also get from Back of the Club is I feel like K1 recorded that only looking in the mirror, whereas Folded is
someone
the
else
attempts of taking all of the best parts of what Brandy Norwood laid already, basically.
Fair.
Which is nothing wrong with that because Brandy is who she is. But Kalani has said it herself. Brandy is who inspired a lot of that. Even that final chorus, it is literally Brandy Norwood, all the way down to meet me another. That's Brandy, bro.
I have a Brandy take that I know you lot aren't gonna like.
Let's save that for another time because we ain't got another time.
Lord.
Because you lot have named clips of
Sorry. We are not entering 2026.
And we're not that type of pod
with any type of slander.
No, it wasn't going to be slander. We can talk about it off camera, but it wasn't going to be slander.
So what is it?
What is it then?
It's just for me, I don't enjoy Brandy as much as everybody else because
it's just as bad.
Because I have a thing of like if something is too polished, because Brandy literally sounds like I've seen they've done a test like vocally. What she's hitting in like ranges of where it should be.
Bro said, I hate you because you're so good.
No, like
you are so good.
For me, it's for me, it's so smooth. Like it's too smooth for me.
Fair.
Like, do you ever get like I don't want to put them in the same box at all. But you know, with like Bruno Mars, with like no. I'm not saying it's the same. But you know, with Bruno Mars music, sometimes it's like this is too polished.
No,
like what you've tried to do.
genre.
Not with Bruno. I don't feel like that with Bruno.
For me, I feel like that, and that's what I'm saying. I know it's a me thing because I feel like it's too polished.
When's the last time you listened to Full Moon?
I can't remember.
Bro, I need you to go back and listen, bro.
your
Anyway,
last song,
let me keep going. So then the second song, obviously we said So Be It, but
like
I've got
Brandy.
So Be It in there, but I'm not gonna say that because it's the same one. I'm going to say a different one. Let me say Giveon Don't Leave.
Fair.
Incredible. That project in itself was great anyway. It took me a while to get into it, but incredible. There is no surprise to me that Leon Thomas is responsible for some of the words on this Don't Leave song as well. 7 Streeter, what she inputted in that was incredible as well. I don't know if Ari Pensmith was a part of this song or not, but just shout out Ari Pensmith for being Ari Pensmith anyway. Yeah, song's incredible. The switch up on it is incredible. Instrument, like, it's just all so good. And then the third song I would say is, I'm gonna say Jane Hancock, Stingy. Jane Hancock is signed to Snoop Dogg's label, so Death Row Records. Funnily enough, like Snoop Dogg has made Death Row Records now an R&B label. Basically, he's got her October London is on there, and I think a couple other R&B artists. She's incredible. Stingy was something that I was playing over and over and over and over again. Couldn't stop playing it. It's just so R&B, man. So R&B, so neo soul. And I enjoyed every bit of it in the time that I was listening to it. So yeah, that's all, man.
All right. Anything to add to that before I start, man? Because I'm gonna try and blitz through as best.
I mean, shout out Leon Thomas again on That's Just How You Are. I absolutely just loved what was done on that. Like, funk music is very much here. People ain't got enough funk in their music these days. So
Word. With the last artist, what was the last artist's name again?
Jane Hancock.
When you say like it's proper R&B, like what do you mean? Like, are you talking about a particular time capsule of R&B, or like when you say it sounds so R&B, like what do you mean?
I think like there's just when production and writing and melodic choices meets. If it was a Venn diagram and they was to meet in the middle, and just have that level of synergy where everything's just working.
Okay.
That is that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people just do free writing a lot of the time, but I think like as an artist, you'll never really know the difference between when you're in synergy with what is being created and you're creating your words at the same time as the music itself is being created. And I feel like you can hear it in that, like you can hear everything just kind of coming together. That's not like succinctly like attached to like different or particular sounding R&B. Like that can go for anything, but for what it is R&B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. I've tried to pick all things that people just haven't picked, like, because we've spoken about a lot of these albums more than once, which doesn't negate their greatness. But I think for me, a lot of last year, there were pockets where I just didn't listen to new music, whether it be because I was touring or because I just didn't have the mental capacity for it. So in comparison to like former years, I hadn't listened to as much, but I'd still listened to a lot more than probably your average listener. From an album perspective, we've touched on it, but Venez Malik, I should say, was just phenomenal. From an instrumentation level, I never have to worry about him because at his core, he is a jazz musician, jazz artist. He is a saxophonist and one of the best that we currently have in the world, on the forefront of things. But then also being able to finally have him let the rest of the world know that he can sing and to the level that he can. Great. Seeing that show live, can't remember what venue that was at. It's one of the O2s. But again, great show. Just a phenomenal artist. The music on there is great. We've spoken about Rando already. Yeah, could talk about that one all day and all night. This 2025, a lot of the albums I really did love as well were collaborations between rappers and producers, like producers that are at the forefront. And Saba and No ID dropped a phenomenal project from the private collection of Saba and No ID.
I think I listened to it once.
Bro, phenomenal album. There's a song on there called How to Impress God. That is pretty much the soundtrack of 2025 for me, just from a context perspective, and some of the topics that he gets into. But yeah, that project, amazing. I think he's in London in like February or March. I'm going to see the show because, bro, great album. And then to put in a gospel album, actually, because similarly to P, I had certain periods of last year where I was just like, not necessarily I don't want to listen to secular music, but I don't listen to as much gospel or CCM, whatever it is, as I probably could be doing, or a lot of the time I just harken back to the old stuff. But William Murphy, the third, I believe he is one of the GOATs, dropped a great album with Payback. There's a song on there that's a cover, I can't remember what song it is, that's well known right now within the CCM space especially. But yeah, William Murphy just at his best, doing what he does best. Really, really, really enjoyed that album. From an EP perspective, I didn't even deep it, but like it's women for me. The women carried in terms of that space. So if I go to the US, I go to Anastasia. She's an incredible artist with a harrowing tone and just a great vocal. She dropped a project called Tether. When I listened through the album, or the EP, sorry, I didn't know who the features were because it doesn't show up on Tidal at least. But Obong JR is on one of the songs. Blew me out of the water. Like, that is such a great project from top to bottom. Kari, Flux, shout out Tamiym as well. Like, we are in his house at 12:05 a.m.
When you said Anastasia, we're not talking about I'm Out of Love.
No. So Anastasia is spelled ANNAHSTASIA. Phenomenal artist. But yeah, Kari, Flux. I could pick every song on that album.
Yep.
And to be fair, I guess Colder and Dream actually came out in 2024, so it'd be cheating. But bro, from top to bottom, like we've spoken about songwriters a lot today. Kari is a songwriter. Kari, you can hear all of her influences: Prince, D'Angelo, all of that. Like, we can go on Tracy Chapman. Like, she's spoken about it as well. I think she recently did something with BET or MTV, one of them lot. But like, every time I see her, I just shake her because, bro, I don't understand how you have so much talent within you. Can sing as you do, can play guitar as you do. Like she's a force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait to see what she does this year, next year onwards.
Can I touch on that quickly? Kari, not only because that is my friend, but she, if you've ever been beside her for the journey that she has had and how she's gotten to where she is, it's even more incredible. Like, this is more so you lot are catching up, as opposed to this is just like someone that has just made it known. I've been seeing this level of talent for 10 years now. And she has done every single thing that I imagine she would have done 10 years ago as well. Timing is everything. Now is her time. Very proud of family. And yeah, man, it was incredible EP, man. She did great still.
Yeah.
What's the EP called?
Flux.
Flux.
Yeah. So Anastasia Tether, Kari, Flux. And then the last one is Cader. She dropped a project called Yarn. Again,
Big up Cader,
phenomenal songwriter. She hails from the Netherlands, I want to say. But that's not her heritage, but the country is losing me right now. But yeah, Cader is just, I've loved her voice from I first got put onto her through Bella. And Cader is just amazing. Like, she just drops great music. And that project Yarn, if you haven't heard it, please just go and do it. Songs, I'll quickly blitz through those as well. Tiana Major 9 is finally back on the road.
Thank God.
Album November Scorpio will be dropping in February. I believe it's on the 12th. But she released a song with Yeba called Always.
Incredible song. Incredible.
And
Amen.
If you need a reference point to go to, like, honest to God, I just don't think it gets much better than what was delivered on that, from a songwriting perspective, from a production perspective. Hayes did a great job. The other song that I want to touch on, and it's kind of, I guess, an honourable mention for EPs, but it's not an honourable mention, would be Robin Hood by Hailey. The whole of Hailey's project, Spare Room, is quintessential reggae / lovers rock. If you haven't listened to the project, if you're unaware of who Hailey is, you've probably heard of Western. Western was the group that he was a part of, and it's still a part of. They're just all doing their own separate bits right now in Spare Room. Yeah, just watching that project be brought to life, from the release of Pure Blue, to the whole project, and the vinyl is actually now out also for sale. Like,
incredible reggae music, bro.
Yeah, Hailey's just tapped. Hailey is very tapped. And I don't have much more to say other than Hailey is a tapped individual. So yeah, definitely Robin Hood. Like, that's my rhythm. A man says, if they empty the 4-5, would you still love them? What? Anyway, the last one is just someone that I just found randomly, and I need to do a bit more of a deep dive on him. It's a guy called Joshua Brian Campbell. He's from somewhere in the US, I believe, but he dropped a great song called 9-8. And if you just want to hear, like we talk a lot about, sometimes music just sounding like butter. Like, that is that song to me. It reminds me of another song from a guy called Pher, Pher, called Murky. That dropped, I want to say, like maybe 2021, 2022, can't remember. But yeah, Joshua Brian Campbell, brother, wherever you are, if you see this, please know that 9-8 carried me through a lot of, like, November-ish, December, whenever I found the song. Like, and I just a great, like, composition from top to bottom. Great composition. We could have kept going. We definitely could have kept going for a couple of hours just discussing some of the great music from last year. We didn't get to touch on like stuff that we're just expecting of for next year. Like I've already said, when Stove God Cooks drops, no one should talk to me about my behavior, because yes, I will be moving like I have a Pyrex in my hand. That guy is the drag rapper at the moment that I'm going to, and he's doing amazing work. Jill Scott, the Miss Jill Scott, has announced that her project is coming after how many years?
13.
Bloody hell, mate. You see that one? Yeah. if she's too young for Jill Scott, leave her alone, brother. We are 28 now. We are 27. We are adults. Leave it alone. But you see, when Jill Scott is on the road, we will be there.
You right.
I think there's a lot of other stuff that like I'm cognizant of. Like I spoken, Tiana Major 9 will be dropping her album, and I can't wait for that. Like I can't believe we are, I think, like 3 or 4 projects deep, and this is finally about to be her debut, and it's been a long time coming. So yeah. Anything else?
Don Toliver's defo probably reaching this year, so I definitely am gonna look forward to that. As you said, Jill Scott, and I previously had mentioned like in previous video around the influence that Jill Scott's had on me and how I'm attached to that lady, like that music 10 years without that, you know. So yeah, that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any other. I do want a full-length project from Sasha Keeble if I could get that, and I'm looking forward to K1's continuation as well. But yeah,
Bella should be dropping.
Bells is dropping.
Yeah, I'm really liking the stuff she's
Bells
putting out.
is dropping.
I see. This is why this song thing could have gone on,
Yeah,
bro.
could've.
Boofing, Boot Camp, and
Smooth
Yeah.
alone as two
in
singles.
2025 was better than a
All
lot
I'm
of the stuff
saying
that dropped
is
throughout
I've
the year.
heard what I've heard, and from what I've heard, you're gonna hear. You get me? So that's that. Looking forward to my projects as well. I got another project dropping this year.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
2026.
But yeah, I've been T.
I've been mad.
It's been Denz.
I've been grateful.
Sake,
What is wrong with being grateful?
We said our names and you just wanted to fuck it up. Like,
He has been Kojo.
he's been he's been Kojo.
And it's been your boy AP.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, man.
This is the review by the Cancun boys in a bit,
Come
man.
on a bit, man. So now they call you grateful. Now they call you grateful, Abby.
Is that what your name means?
Allow me, man.